What happens if you get injured while living off-grid, especially when you're alone? This is one of the most serious and least talked about risks. People prepare for solar systems, water, and shelter, but many don't fully think through what happens if something goes wrong with their body. Because when you're alone, even a small injury can become a big problem very quickly. In this video, we're going to talk honestly about injuries off-grid. What can actually happen and how to prepare so you're not caught off guard. Let's start with the biggest reality. You are your own first responder. In normal life, if you get injured, help is usually nearby. Off-grid, especially in remote locations, that's not always possible. If something happens, the first person who has to respond is you. The second truth is even minor injuries can escalate when you're alone. A simple cut or a twisted ankle can limit your ability to move. If you can't walk properly, how do you get water? If you can't use your hand, how do you fix something or cook? Another major risk is accidents during physical work. Off-grid living often involves tools, equipment, lifting, and cutting. Injuries like cuts, burns, or sprains can happen during normal tasks. And the difference off-grid is simple. There's no immediate backup. Let's talk about a realistic scenario: a fall. It could be slipping on wet ground or losing balance on uneven terrain. If you fall and injure your leg, getting up might not be easy. If you're far from help, that situation becomes serious quickly. Even if you can call for help, response times may be longer. Distance, weather, and access all affect how quickly help reaches you. Now, let's talk about pain and shock management. If you get injured, pain can affect your ability to think clearly. This is why preparation matters. In a stressful situation, you rely on what you already know. Another hidden danger is infection. A small cut that is not cleaned properly can become a major issue. Proper wound care becomes extremely important when you are responsible for your own health. Most injuries are survivable if you are prepared, but preparation is everything. First, have a proper first aid kit, not just a basic one. You need supplies for bleeding control, burns, and sprains. And most importantly, you need to know how to use them. A kit without knowledge is limited. Second, learn basic first aid and emergency response skills. Knowing how to stabilize an injury can make a huge difference. Third, set up your environment to reduce risk. This means keeping walkways clear and using protective equipment. Always have a way to call for help. Your phone or radio should be accessible at all times, not left inside. It's also smart to let someone know your routine. Having someone who knows when to expect contact adds a layer of safety. Many injuries happen when people rush or take shortcuts. Off-grid living rewards patience. Taking extra time is often safer. Let's also talk about planning for worst-case scenarios. What would you do if you couldn't walk or needed help urgently? Keep essential supplies within easy reach. If you are injured, you don't want to travel far to get what you need. Finally, accept that risk is part of off-grid living, but unmanaged risk is the real problem. To summarize, injuries when you're alone are more serious because you are your own responder, but preparation handles most situations. The key takeaway is simple. Don't just prepare your systems, prepare yourself. Subscribe to Off-Grid Life Tech for more detailed videos. Stay safe out there.